Welcome to the 48-hour furniture challenge hosted by Ivy Lane Designs on Instagram. This is Eliana with Not Redesign, and I'm super excited to join all of my friends from Instagram on this one. As usual, I picked a piece and I was asked to take a picture with it. Yeah, just one picture, not 12 or however many. Took that many and I still didn't like them. So I finally picked a piece. This is the one. As usual, we're going to begin by cleaning and removing all of the hardware. I'm not gonna go completely out of the way, but this is gonna look completely different when I'm done with it. As usual, I use a TSP substitute to clean these pieces very, very well, which is imperative when you are doing a furniture flip. I'm sweating. I'm sweating from taking off a screw. This is nuts. This screw was this way. That was hard. Look at this screw. Look at me. I literally had a workout just taking the screw out of this. Why am I getting pieces like this? It's like a curse. They were all glued. So one was missing. One, I didn't even get it on camera. I took it out. There's a chunk over here that is now missing, so I have to fill this in. And this one came off, but it's still, I had to knock it off. So it's still just a mess. And this was glued and the screw was glued in too. So it took forever. Workout. Well, enough of that. Let's just try to sand this thing down instead. It's a 48-hour flip, and you guys saw. Let me take you up close. That is what this 80 grit sander did, and this is what the carbide scraper did. In other words, absolutely nothing. In a 48-hour flip, when everything came, it goes wrong for me. I guess I'm gonna try stripper now. Let's see. One of the reasons why I love this particular stripper is because you can clean it up with water with TSP. They say lay it on thick. It helps bleach and actually cleans the surface very well. So it's hard to find a stripper that you can clean with water, and this is one. So that's one of the reasons why I love it, love it, love it. As usual, make sure that you are wearing gloves and glasses and all the essential PPE. I scuff sanded the rest of the piece and gave the top a complete sand down to make sure that I have a really good base for my stain. I also turned the base upside down so that I could work on the legs, straighten them, and begin to paint them. I am using a paint that I created myself by mixing 4 different colors. I will link all of those in the description so that you know what they are if you like this color. And I am giving everything 2 to 3 coats of paint to make sure that I have full coverage. I always flip the piece and do a coat of the underneath so that I don't miss any paint, because there's nothing more embarrassing than lifting the piece of furniture into someone's car and realizing that you missed a spot. So I always do this. It also helps me get all of the nooks and crannies of the legs. I then flipped the piece and decided to put some shellac on those bare spots and do my first coat. I am using an all-in-one paint by Dixie Belle in their silk line, and this is essential in a 48-hour flip so that you can save some time, because this paint has the primer, paint, and top coat all included into one, so you will definitely save lots of time. The recoat time on this one is 1 to 2 hours as well, so that is also a huge time saver. The coverage is also amazing, as you can see. I did the drawers and everything is drying perfectly. I also use Voodoo Gel. It's a water-based gel stain by Dixie Belle, but in this case, look what I did. I applied it on the bare wood, and the darker color actually stained the wood. You can see that line right there. Well, the lines where I applied the darker stain, it actually was all over the piece. So I ended up having to go back and re-sanding the entire top bare and doing it again. But it's no big deal. I also added the liners, which also was a time saver on day one. So at the end of the day, this is where I ended up. On day number 2 and my final day, I actually came back, lightly sanded everything with a 320. I spritzed the piece a little bit with water, not a whole lot because this paint doesn't really take a whole lot of water, and gave it an additional 2 coats. I did 3 coats total simply because this dark colors is so much better to just usually have more paint than you needed than actually apply 2 coats, take it out in a lit place, and then you'd realize that you have some missed spots. So for my dark colors, I always do 3 coats. Again, I am really loving this color. I think I'm gonna go ahead and send it over to Dixie Belle so they can mix it for me and name it after me. I don't know. Just kidding, Dixie Belle. But not really. It's a pretty color. I hope I can recreate it again. I scuff sanded the top again to make sure that it was buttery smooth, and then I started applying my top coat. On this one, I went with about 3 coats. I have 3 full coats of paint on this one, drying over here on this side, a little bit drier on the front, and on this side still comes through more navy than anything, but up close it's such a pretty color. I think I might have put some more green on it. It would have been more teal, but this is pretty. The top has 2 coats of top coat already. The second one is drying, and I'll come back with a third one, and then I will spray top coat on the entire thing all over again, giving the top a 4th and this one 1 coat. This paint has a top coat already in it, so I don't need to overspray it. It's looking good. The more that I work on this beauty, the more that is giving me like a boy room vibe. The paper that I chose and the color that it ended up applying on this is just saying boy. So I'm gonna go ahead and lightly distress these so that in case it does end up in a boy's room, the parents don't have to worry about is the child going to scratch it. Let's go ahead and give it 1 final coat of top coat, 1 on the body, the 4th one on the top, so that it's very well protected, and install the hardware. This hardware I had on hand, so I didn't have to worry about rushing out. That's another time saving for a 48-hour flip. And the not so pretty realistic before, do you remember it? Ivy Lane, thanks again for putting the challenge together. I had great fun. Here it is. How cool is this piece? The marble handles were the perfect addition for this. That color, there it is. That's the real color, you guys. I love it. Yes, it's a navy, but it's kind of a tealish navy. I love it, and it goes perfectly well with that liner. It's definitely a sea fishing type vibe. I really love it. What do you all think? Please leave me a comment, like and subscribe to the channel to help me continue to grow, and let me know what you guys think on this one. How did I do for a quick 48-hour flip? Thanks again, you guys, for being here this week, and I will see you again soon. Bye.